Recording now.
Great. I'm trying to find some buttons here. This is the mayor manager meeting. It's now 8:35. And in the room is Linda Olson, Jade Truscott-Reed, Shawn Lewis, and Stephanie Carlisle.
Good morning, Mayor. Just want to, and Jade, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the slightly modified but more.
You are correct. This is the newer agenda sheet. The goal is to eventually have everybody putting their items in, or well, we will be putting the items in a little bit ahead of time, so that way they'll all be populated in iCompass, and then I actually export it directly from there, and hopefully this will get rid of any titles that may be different. It also includes a brief description about it, so hopefully it'll be able to give us a little bit more insight to it, and then we can go from there.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I was in my trying to talk to you. I was saying, oh wow, you got a lot of extra columns there, and no response.
Oh no,
that's when I knew something was wrong.
Meeting. Well, I do want to just thank the clerk's office, because I think that Jade, if I understand this correctly, it's really going to make this meeting we'll have much better information, because the departments will be entering this themselves with your kind of oversight, and hopefully it'll be a much better process.
Exactly.
Cool.
Makes a lot of sense.
The one thing that we might want to add, and then by the end of the Mayor, if you have suggestions too, but is the consent versus, I mean, will there be a way to note consent?
Oh, yes, I was meaning to put in this column right here. Okay. And then right there, I can put in the times right here, as well as if it's consent or not, if that works for you guys.
Sure.
Sounds good. All right, well, Mayor, I'll just go ahead and start with tomorrow's meeting. It's and then we have the DDA, and one of the main things that we're going to be talking about is the 4 questions that are going to be on the ballot. 3 of those are coming to mind right now, but we have to select an interest rate, of course, the DDA, whether or not to put it on the ballot for the electors in the district to vote on that. We also have to allow them the opportunity to say whether or not they want to give themselves the pre-approval authority to bond for.
You're talking not about tomorrow's meeting, but you're talking about Monday's meeting, the 15th, right?
No, I was talking about tomorrow. Would you rather just skip that one?
Oh, no, I thought you were saying that there was stuff on here for the ballot measures.
Well, it is that first item there, information on the proposed Inglewood DDA organizational ordinance. Okay. Yeah, that's the ballot.
So I need to, yes, I printed off the one for Wednesday.
Oh, great.
And so it's changed, is what you're saying, yes?
More information has been added, and our staff was not, I'm assured by our staff that we did not know that there are a couple of other questions that need to be asked in addition just to putting it on the ballot as, do you want to form a DDA? One is, do you want to give yourself the authority to bond? It's kind of a pre-approval, based on the TIF revenue in particular. And then, of course, the mill levy question, and then lastly, the interest rate that electors would be willing to pay for that bonding. So yes, the 2 bonding questions are going to be new.
Okay.
But staff will be going over them.
Let's just, and yeah, they're under the study session. Well, it's all study session. So, right. So
correct.
Let's just make sure that I think I maybe printed this off on Saturday, maybe. So I don't know when others might have done that or looked at it. Just make sure that. Well, when was the new one put up, I guess, is the question.
Oh, actually, we didn't actually. Well, Jade, did we? I don't think we changed the agenda, did we?
I actually don't believe that no changes have been brought to me, or nobody told me that it would be updated. So I believe the package should be the same. I have a similar situation with the one below. I do know that due to they were doing interviews. So I know that there may be a slideshow for the second item as well that was not included in the packet, but it was because of interviews that were occurring now. So that way they could have full information for you tomorrow.
Right.
So just to give you a heads up with that one as well, but I was not told of any changes, but I can double check with community development just to ensure that. And if there is any, I will reach out to council.
Okay, that's great. That clears it up for me.
Great. All right. On the third item there, because the Unified Development Code is the second item, and that is just to discuss the staff recommendation and any of your thoughts on the community engagement consultant who will be helping us with Title 16. The third item, temporary restrictions to through traffic, is the item around parks, about closing some streets around parks. And then you guys will have your discussion on the different study session items to bring forth. And then
I'm losing you. Can you all hear me?
yes. Jade, can you hear me okay?
You dropped out at you dropped out at the end.
Okay. Man, they even got me a third new microphone.
It's your computer. You need a Mac. I'm not that big of a Mac person. I just have never had trouble as much.
Okay, actually, I think I was on the wrong microphone. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, I now know which microphone. This is a new one. Okay, so did you hear everything for the study session though, Mayor?
Yeah, I think it was good enough.
Okay. All right, June 15th, we have a status update on the web committee. And then we have procurement policy. This is still study session. Procurement policy and procurement procedural document review. So those are two different documents. And then the resolution appointing members to various boards, commissions, and committees. Bill for an ordinance for an amendment to the Inglewood trolley cost sharing agreement. And then a bill for an ordinance to submit a ballot issue to electors regarding lodger sales tax. First reading of proposed ordinance concerning creation of the DDA. And then a bill for an ordinance to submit a ballot issue to electors to opt out of the broadband prohibition on providing public broadband prohibition. And I do want to mention, just because we've had so many questions on this, that again, the city has no intention of looking at, providing broadband as a utility. We simply want to avoid breaking the law by providing broadband services in our library, the rec center, the civic center, and other places, which currently we actually believe we may be. And then next,
that is by the way.
Go ahead. What was that?
That we did opt to have that on consent last week. Sorry, I have my other sheet up and I just am verifying as we go. And I just wanted to let you guys know that is on consent.
Yep. Great. That's good because it was 7-0.
All right, moving on to the 22nd. We have the DDA downtown plan. So we did just get a draft back from the consultants on that plan. It goes to the steering committee for the DDA tonight. And it'll go to council today as well. It just came in yesterday. And then we have the May 2020 financial review and the Citizen of the Year discussion. Any questions on that?
Nope, looks good.
All right, on the July 6th meeting, we have a professional services agreement renewal regarding water rights and the legal support services around those services. And those rights. It looks like we have nope, that is not a duplicate. Professional services agreement with water rights. Oh yes, the engineering support services. So those kind of go hand in hand, but are actually two different agreements.
And I did get a request from staff for these to both be on consent. Would you be okay with that, or do we want to keep them on the regular agenda?
Was that from Peter? That request?
It was.
Okay, Mayor, I would defer to you.
Is this something? It's just the renewal of stuff that we do every year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let's just put it on consent.
All right. And then we have, oh, I guess, are we back in person July 6th? Because
All right. So we are going to have to make a decision about that. I don't know that anybody's going back in person yet.
yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why we've had to push off your executive session for mine and Allison's review is because those need to occur in person,
Yeah.
according to Allison. So, but we do have those maybe as placeholders. So
They are in as placeholders, and I can move those in iCompass to repopulate them a little bit farther along. That way we can still talk about it and move it there if we would like, but that way it's not on that meeting per se.
So,
okay.
yeah, let's move it down. I do think that probably we need to have some kind of an interpretation from the attorney about how we would do face-to-face meetings again. And whether or not we would be, I don't know, I didn't look at the order the other day, yesterday, I think, right? Was it yesterday or was it Friday that came out?
Friday.
But it didn't have, Jim's came out yesterday, didn't they? Or was that Friday as well?
Well, they've been rolling out periodically, you know. Mayor, would you like for us to put a discussion on one of the agendas above this or on this agenda to talk about coming back into regular?
Yeah, we probably would, but I would like to get our, I'd like to find out what the legal directives, the guidance is. I mean, yeah.
We could be ready to present that whenever you're want us to put that on.
Yeah, we probably should talk about it. And we don't have the weekend, the 29th, we don't have a meeting because it's a 5th meeting, right? So we just have 2 more this month.
Correct.
Right.
Would you like to add the 15th? Sorry.
Yeah, is that how about the 22nd?
Okay.
That would give us enough time, wouldn't it? So we'd go through the month of June.
Yeah, and I don't think those items are going to take that long either. So
yeah.
Would you like this as a topic under marriage choice, or would you like it as a study session memo?
Let's get a memo so that we have some clear directives. And then I don't know, Shawn, have you heard from other cities at all? I haven't even asked recently whether they're back. I don't think most of them are.
No, none of them are back in our county that I know of.
We might do well to just continue on for a while to see what happens, especially after all of the activity downtown.
Yeah. All right. So, Jade, yeah.
Yes.
If you can scroll down a bit.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I was on the wrong one.
No problem. Let's see. So, okay, and so we do have the plan is that on the 6th to try to finalize or to put if we can make good progress at the study session tomorrow, to put the finalization of a final, well formatted strategic plan on your agenda for approval on the 6th.
Okay.
And then we have a tentative new appointments to be recognized by council at the July 6th meeting as well. On July 13th, the only item so far on that agenda is the City Center redevelopment update. And then July 27th, we have a study session, a couple of updates. One, the June financial review, and then that's where Jay is tentatively put the review of Allison and myself. All right, and then a couple of others just for the future. In August, we'll be looking at the, of course, July financial review, the joint session with Planning and Zoning Commission that you all have asked to schedule. And then August, just the financial reviews is all we have left for future months.
Sounds good. All right. And then on tomorrow night, after we're done with the meeting, I wonder if the 3, 4 of us should just stay on for a minute and see if there's anything that needs to be put on the Monday meeting. That comes up just to check in with each other. What do you think? Maybe it doesn't matter. Just email.
I'll be at the meeting, so I'm happy to. Sorry.
Go ahead, Jane.
Oh, no, I was just saying I'll be at the meeting, so I'm happy to.
Yeah, that works for me, Mayor.
Let's just do that just to make sure we've heard any council requests or anything else that came up that we might need to add to Monday.
Sounds good.
Because I'm going to talk about the pledge that the mayors have taken throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be something that they're going to want to bring forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if we should talk with the chief about that beforehand. So he's.
I've actually asked him to be based on a handful of council requests that we received late last week. I've asked him to be on that meeting so that he can answer questions directly as well.
Okay. All right. And then, yeah. All right. I think that does it for today, doesn't it?
I think so.
All right.
I would like just a little bit of feedback. Was the readability okay for you guys for this, other than adding in the consent and time column? Do you feel like there's any other edits that you'd like to see for next week?
I think this works.
Sounds good.
And Mayor, I didn't mention, but along with this, this improved kind of layout, we've got a really great process that Stephanie and Jade have laid out for the the leadership team and the rest of the departments that submit items. So I think it's going to really improve the process, and just want to thank Stephanie and Jade for that.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, and it'll help you in the long run too to be able to explain what something is.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Okie dokie. Well, let's see. It's 8:52, and this ends the mayor management meeting.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Take care.